everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, a special emergency breaking news edition of the show. We know we just dropped our brand new Simonson Saga episode, but as that was happening, more stuff was happening in the world of Thor. So I am one of your hosts, Ryan. We got Faz and Will here. We've assembled the Warriors 3 for a very worthy reason, everybody. Guys.
Okay, so the emergency podcast, so we have a siren. Can you insert a siren into the sound effects?
What? If I'm able to insert one, I will. I will.
Okay. No, I'm Will. We can go back to that. So anyway.
I have to see how I make that.
How about this? Instead, Ryan, add the little piece of from Endgame when all the Asgardians are trying to chase the rabbit. Stop that rabbit! And it's all a big panic. That's what you should put instead as our emergency.
I am very certain I can't pull that off because I'm not that good.
I believe in you. And if you get sued, Will protect you.
Placed. I've told you that many times. Everybody, today some news got leaked for the August preview of Marvel Comics that the cover of the thing got leaked. Not just the cover of the book we're going to talk about, but the cover of the previews issue. The Immortal Thor #1 is dropping in August, and we are here to share kind of what got leaked and kind of speculate for a few minutes about what we think that might mean. So I'm just going to share what was actually leaked and what has come out and kind of why that relates to us, not only as a Thor podcast, but some personal connections that we have with this book. So the Immortal Thor #1 is the August issue of Thor. Now, from what we know, the current Thor run, which is at number 33 right now as of recording, it will most likely end at issue 35, which is, we've talked about this for a while, it's the last issue that Torn Grünbeck is going to be writing. Nick Klein left art duties last issue, so they got some fill-in guys coming here and there. Sergio Davila, Juan Gedeon, who both done great jobs. And we were really unsure for a long time about what was going to happen to this book after Thor number 35. Well, now we kind of sort of know. It's the Immortal Thor #1, written by modern legend Al Ewing. I can't believe I get to say that Al Ewing is writing the Thor book. And the covers are going to be done by also industry legend Alex Ross. We get Alex Ross covers every month, not just variant covers. Every single month, we get Alex Ross covers.
Is he doing all of them? It's not just the first one?
It says covers by Alex Ross. So here's the coolest part. Interior artwork done by friend of the show, Martin Coccolo. How great is it that we get to say that now, Will? We get to say it. It gets to be true. It's not just speculation.
I love it. I love it so much. And can we reveal that later on, earlier than us knowing this information, Martin said to us, he's like, guys, I'm working on something. You all are going to be very excited about it. And we're like, what could he mean?
And he didn't tell us. He didn't tell us a thing. He was just because we were like, hey, what's after Deadpool? What's after Banner of War? He's like,
you're a Stormbreaker. You're a Stormbreaker. What's next? He's like, it'll come out. It'll come out.
And Martin's been very tight-lipped about it, and he was like, hey, when the news comes out, just know you're going to be really happy. And I was like, okay. And that's literally only thing he told us. And I can honestly say this morning when Brandon Blocksdorf, friend of the podcast, sent the first kind of post to me, I was like, I could not be happier. Literally could not be happier about this. So right now on our Zoom call, on our chat here, we're looking at the cover, and it's a classic Thor pose where the hammer is, at the top of the page, and it's Alex Ross. So, everything is reflective, and it's very mythological in style and scope. Painted covers. Again, can't believe I get to say that. And there's a new kind of what's old is new kind of version of the logo as well. This is not the Thor logo we've been used to over the last, even 20, 25 years. It is a 90s style kind of logo But over top of the Thor masthead, it says the Immortal Thor. So that leads me to my first speculation, guys. Al Ewing is writing it, and the last thing Al Ewing wrote with the word immortal in it was the quintessential modern Hulk run, the Immortal Hulk. So, guys, like comparisons, like hopes that we have between the two, like, I mean, Immortal Hulk is one of the books. Like, if you want to recommend to someone read a new comic, read someone new to comics, read this. Immortal Hulk is one of those books you're probably going to hand them. So, any speculation around Al being involved in this project for you guys?
I just like I've heard so many good things. I've read some of Immortal Hulk, and it's really good stuff, and people will lift it up to like the top peak runs of like modern day comics. And so if that's what's going on here, awesome. But yeah, like for me, like as a like lifelong Star Wars fan, it looks like it's in yellow. It's like
Mhm.
it looks like an opening crawl to like an epic Star Wars
Oh
movie.
my gosh,
Like
it
crawling.
does look like the crawl.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Leave it
like
to you to
that's
make
the
this about Star Wars,
yeah,
William.
look at there. But like in terms of like that, um, and if we talk about the other things, whether it's Simonson's run or others, like you've posted on Instagram, like what's your favorite like graphic of like Thor on the top of the
Right, yeah. Yep.
comics page, like and
That
people are
wild.
voting on it. Here's a brand new one we've never seen before, and it looks great. So like, all right, yeah, we're starting something new. There's something different happening here. That's what you're gonna mark with a number one. It's a new adjective in front of Thor, and so yeah, you can start over with number one. Like I love the like legacy numbers. Whether it's with X-Men or Cap or Avengers or whatever, I'm going to always go back to the legacy numbers. Well, I don't think there's ever been an Immortal Thor, right? Like this is a number one, a truly number one adjective put in front of
Yep.
Thor, number one. So yeah, there's no legacy numbers. This is number one. If you're going to collect something, collect this. Like this is it. Like let's do this.
So,
Place
Will-
order
so
this
Will,
week.
does that mean you aren't going to be telling us this is Thor number 762 and 763 and 760? You're just going to call it one?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Yeah,
just be,
it's
just
a
because
collector's
just
edition.
because of
Do
two
it.
words, like the Mighty Thor is fine, Thor God of Thunder is fine, but the Immortal Thor is different. That's where you draw the line.
100%.
Interesting. Interesting. My speculation for this is that I think it's not going to be a separate universe jump off. I think that they're going to do some sort of soft reboot at the end of Legacy of Thanos.
Mhm.
I think that maybe like a Ragnarok style event will come and all the Norse deities will die and the universe will be destroyed by Thanos and will be remade, and this is where we'll get to here. But Ryan, why don't you read
Yeah.
the little treatment about it to get the listeners hyped?
So at the bottom of the solicitation page, here is a little bit of what the previews has to say about this book. Al Ewing, Martin Coccolo, and Alex Ross give the God of Thunder the immortal treatment. In Norse myths, they call him the Thunderer. Viewer has he been called, and Heraldi, the gods know him as Asgard's king, keeper of Mjolnir, hero of the tales. When injustice grips the earth and ancient powers bring down the sky, he fights for those who cannot, and when the tale is done, he will know what that cost him. This is the tale of the immortal Thor. So, I really think we're kind of hitting on what's probably going to happen in here is that we're going to get a fresh start. We're going like this won't be like in my opinion, this probably won't be a Jason did his thing, and then Donnie Cates really inherited some parts of what Jason was doing. I think Al is going to wipe the slate clean. I think in some way, whether it's in the book itself, like Faz said, or if it's just a editorial, like nope, we're starting over, like this, new kind of fresh start, still in the 616, but it's kind of a soft reboot. Whichever way we do that, I don't see Al Ewing coming in and being like, okay, well, let's make sure we tie up all the loose ends that were happening over the last 4 years. Because when he did this with Immortal Hulk, he didn't do that. Like when Immortal Hulk started, it just started. Like, it was as if, like, yes, you know what the character kind of was before it, like the basic tenets were all there, but then we just moved forward, and we had the Immortal Hulk become this body horror, almost universal monster style book, where there was some monster of the week stuff, but then there was that overarching story of the Green Door and what happens, what happens with gamma radiation, what is it actually from. And I mean, that run of Hulk is such a masterpiece. And I think that's why I get so excited about the Immortal Thor being this, Al Ewing giving it the masterpiece treatment. Like, and this is no disrespect to anything Donnie did or Nick Klein did. You guys know we've enjoyed arcs and issues of that book a lot. But this gets me excited because Al Ewing is like, he's top tier of top tier. Like, he is he would be the king of kings. He's right up there with a Jason Aaron or a Jonathan Hickman, guys like that who, when they get
Would you
on,
say he's like the king of Asgard potentially?
he's like the All Father. Man, oh gosh, we've been calling Jason Aaron the All Father for so long. Maybe we'll just call Mr. Ewing the Al Father.
It
Oh, there we go.
very Will Rose of you there, Ryan.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud.
So proud.
I agree
Thanks,
entirely in that this is kind of, we've loved Donnie's arcs. Donnie's had a lot of really cool stuff going. Jason Aaron is kind of known in comic circles as the definitive Thor writer of the modern era, and this is the first time where we get kind of the feeling that there's a challenger approaching. What Al what Al could be doing here could be the definitive modern Thor, in the way that Immortal Hulk is to a lot of people the Hulk story now.
Right. And I think we've talked a little bit about Al. Let's go to the preview page of the interiors where we can just gut about our guy Martin Coccolo for a second. So we remember Martin's artwork with Thor from Banner of War, the Hulk and Thor storyline from last summer, big summer blockbuster style story. And you see a lot of Martin's kind of flavor in this page, but also there's some differences here. We finally get to see his take on some supporting characters like the Frost Giants and the Warriors 3. Like, we get to see that, because we didn't really get to see Martin do much of Asgard or the warriors or the battles that go beyond Thor and Hulk. So even on this preview page, we get some of that. And Faz, I wanted your take on this. It looks like we're going back to the classic Thor attire and away from Nick Klein's kind of runic, tunic looking outfit. What do you think about the return to this attire?
So I think that it fully fits with the whole kind of branding that is, this is a fresh start. It's a new era of Thor. It's not a continuation like the 700 books that came before. We're going back to our roots. The Warriors 3 all look like their original looks. Thor is looking freaking awesome. The way that Martin has drawn him in the little preview we have here. Jonathan / Mjolnir is looking fantastic. In his very, it's basic, but that's what it's supposed to look like in the comics. It looks exactly like it should. The cracks were a really cool thing fitting with Donnie's story, but it is cool to get kind of a reforged original Mjolnir here. And honestly, like some of these covers, man, like the variant cover by Francis Manapul, is that how you say his last name?
Yeah.
Is just fucking insane. Longtime listeners will know that I'm not the biggest fan of the spike at the top of the helmet look.
Point.
But that one in that photo looks insane. And the way that Martin's got it drawn too, it looks really good. And other people will notice the lack of beard on Thor.
Right.
Doesn't look any less Thor now, does he? He's got the big flowing cape. He's got the 6 discs. He's looking definitive. I'm gonna keep saying it. Yeah.
His Silver Age look. This is his Silver Age, early Bronze look. nothing's, it's not altered, but it's refreshed. I would say that it's a refreshed version of the classic look. Also, another variant cover that we get a preview of is Peach Momoko doing minutes from Loki. I will be buying that variant cover.
Of course he will.
Because Peach is an absolute master. And like, if you haven't read Demon Days, everybody go read Demon Days.
Long-time listeners may know that the only MCU character on Ryan's list is Miss Minutes. The rest of them are not people that Kim has okayed, but Miss Minutes is the only one who's been able to stay on the list.
That has horrifying implications. But guys, I think the last major component of this book that we haven't talked about, of course we're excited for Martin. We are Martin's hype men. Like, we just absolutely love what he's done. And honestly, the access he's given us to him, just to like shoot him a message and be like, hey Martin, I loved this about this, and he like responds to us. And
he added questions to our Q&A. This is a Martin Stan podcast.
That's right.
100%.
So if you're looking,
he got out of me my favorite issue of Thor. So there you go.
Yeah.
Gosh, I really feel like, this will be, people be like, well, these guys like love Martin Coccolo. They're not going to do like hard hitting critiques of his art. It was like, we were never journalism. Going to do that. We were never going to do that.
Have you ever heard us be more than neutral on a comic? There's never been a time we've been like, I hate this.
We're just gonna gush like uncontrolled. I really do hope that we get Joe Sabino as the letterer still, because Joe has lettered so much Thor through the years, and it would just be a shame to lose him. I hope, I don't know how the coloring situation is going to be, but Matt Wilson is like the quintessential colorist on Thor, has been for a long time, and he's an Eisner winner, so it's really hard to go up from there. But last thing we should talk about is Alex Ross covers. Like, Alex Ross did, to my recollection, he did every cover of the Immortal Hulk series. So that's what makes me think that it will probably
them all,
we'll probably get Alex Ross main covers for all of this, which is just so freaking good, because epic mythological scope. I mean, Alex Ross is, I think it's almost trite to say that he's a modern master. If anyone hasn't read Kingdom Come, the book that he did with DC, like, you need to go read that, because it's not only Alex Ross covers, it's Alex Ross interiors, painted interiors on a book. Like, that's crazy.
Did that just take him like decades to write, to do each book? That's insane.
Oh,
I have no idea.
That was a monthly book. Wow. And Marvels as well. He
did Marvels, right? Yeah. So if you don't want to stray far from Marvel comics, check out the Marvels, which is kind of like a Kingdom Come-esque story, where you get the street view look of like what a normal person would view these conflicts as. And then of course you see what happens to the heroes too. But it'd be really awesome to like get to, maybe, I don't know, someday talk to Alex Ross about his Thor covers, talk to Al Ewing about this. I know we're gonna get to talk to Martin. Martin has already promised, that we'll get to chat with him about it. So guys, any final thoughts about this? I know we're gonna spend months, on our new comics episodes speculating, and then we're gonna actually read this book. So any final thoughts on this emergency breaking news pod? Will, you wanna go first?
Yeah, I guess I'm hoping that this is not just like a flashback, to like, when the hammer wasn't crackled with the embodied like the spirit of Odin. But I do hope like the end of this next arc leads to the Immortal Thor that can stand as a story on its own and lead forward. And I welcome a new number one, a new creative team. I love my legacy numbers and often joke about it. But yeah, if we have a new fresh start with Immortal Thor, that like a new fresh start for this character with a new adjective in front of it, the new number one, like, let's do it. Let's bring on some new readers, and that's just an all-star creative team, and can't wait to see what happens. And the fact that we're friends with Martin makes it even better.
Baz, you got any final thoughts before we jump out of here?
Yeah, so the first thing I want to do is I want to thank everybody who was involved in the previous run of Thor, because everybody like Donnie, Tor, and everybody who guest wrote, Nick Klein, obviously. There were so many, Matt Wilson, Joe Sabino, everybody did a great job, and we were really happy with it. Like that's the run that kind of got me into comics during the pandemic. So that's, I have a lot that I owe to those guys, and I'm really grateful for them all. Donnie's currently lined up to go to Fan Expo, and I can't wait to meet him, tell him he's the reason I read the comics and stuff. With that said, this is a fucking all-star team, and I cannot wait to read what they do, because this is a lineup that Ryan would have been dreaming about when we heard that Donnie was stepping away.
Right.
Because if someone has to take over, and I don't even think you dreamed of it, Ryan. I don't even think you would have imagined that Al Ewing would be available.
No, well, because I don't know. I kind of thought Al was done doing like ongoing stuff, because the last few things he's done have been limited series. Like he did Defenders Beyond. He did the Wasp series, the Ant-Man series, all of them great books, and I'm sure he's done a billion other things. He never seems to be someone who's lacking work, but I kind of thought like us getting like a monumental run like an Immortal Hulk was kind of done, at least for now. But hey, I'm so happy to be wrong. And like Will said, I would be really bummed if we found out like, oh no, it's a 5-issue limited series, like
right, or like a
really
one-issue
bummed.
mega series or something.
Like
Yeah.
I want it to be an ongoing book. I want this to be the Thor book. Like if we get like a year, 2, 3, God forbid, 4 years like he did with Hulk, we get like a 4-year run of Al Ewing writing Thor, I will be the happiest, like, happiest I've been since, Faz mentioned, his formative years in the pandemic of engaging with Donnie's Thor. I was the same way with Jason Aaron's Thor. Like, you never forget your first run, but every so often a run comes along and you're like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And I'm sure we'll have moments, because we're going to cover it issue by issue. I'm sure we're going to have moments where we're like, what are we doing here, Al? Like, where are we going with this? Kind of like what we did with Donnie's run. But that's the thing about evaluating something on an episodic basis. Like sometimes, we've all done this with our favorite TV shows. It's like, that episode didn't really hit me like it was supposed to, but then when you get to the finale and you're like, oh, now it makes total sense. So guys, I said this was going to be an emergency pod. I said we were going to be here briefly, so let's do that. And everybody, you can check us out on Instagram at Mighty Thor Podcast if you want to keep up with us and see what we're doing. You can also check out the link in our episode description to join the Thor Corps. You would have gotten the full version of this with, Faz and I preambling before, if you're a Thor Corps member. Yeah, everybody, we're very excited for what's coming next. And we're very excited for where we've been. Like Faz said, thank you for every single person that's been a part of the Thor book over the last few years. And we're sad that Will doesn't get to keep track of legacy numbers anymore. Maybe.
Hey, I'm good for this. I think come June and July, towards the end of July, I'm gonna be like, oh no, summer's almost over. What am I gonna do? I love summer. I love surfing. I love the beach. What do I have to look forward to? In
Immortal Thor
the
#1.
Immortal Thor. Yeah. So at least it'll keep me alive for a few more months.
And at this time we're still going to be getting used to the new Avengers book. We're going to be getting used to this book. We're going to have a Loki series that we're going to be talking about in new comics. New comics episodes are about to get real freaking packed and good.
And so, Alligator Loki will always be there, guys.
Alligator Loki will always be there. And we've got to wrap up Torrens' story. We still got Legacy of the Father to finish. So, hey, everybody, we love you. We love you. And we can't wait to talk more comics with you next time aboard the Rainbow Bridge. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're at, remember, stay worthy.